Have you ever felt like finance is this big, exclusive club you weren't invited to? Like there's a secret language about money that everyone else just seems to get? Well, today we're kicking the door down and demystifying the whole thing. We are going to walk through a simple but super powerful guide to investing, all based on Andrew Craig's fantastic book, How to Own the World.
This quote from investor Mark Shipman, man, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It gets right to the core of the problem. Most of us never had a class on this stuff. We learned about ancient history and algebra, but not asset allocation. And that one gap, that simple skill of knowing how to manage our own money, can end up having a massive impact on our entire lives.
But here's the really great news. It is absolutely a skill you can learn. And you know what? It's probably a lot simpler than you think. So in this explainer, we're going to walk through 5 steps together. We'll start with the problem, that financial blind spot we all share. Then we'll introduce a really powerful new way to think about money. Unlock the engine that powers all of this. Set up a simple autopilot strategy. And finally, get crystal clear on what the ultimate goal of this whole journey really is.
So seriously, if you feel a little bit lost when people start talking about investing, you are so not alone. This is not some kind of personal failing. It is a huge societal level problem. The reality is, centuries after we invented things like money and financial markets, only a teeny tiny fraction of the population really understands how to use them to their advantage. And really, it all just boils down to this one simple truth. The single biggest reason people struggle with their finances isn't because they don't earn enough or they have bad luck. It's just a lack of knowledge. But you know what? That's actually great news, because knowledge is something we can start fixing right here, right now.
Okay, so if the problem is a lack of knowledge, what on earth is the solution? Well, the book offers this absolutely brilliant way to reframe the whole challenge. Instead of thinking of finance as this, abstract, impossible thing, I want you to think of it like learning how to operate a really powerful machine.
Now really, think about it. Learning to drive involves some theory, some practice, and understanding the rules of the road, right? It seems super complex at first, but millions, billions of us do it every day. Well, managing your money is exactly the same. It's a practical, learnable skill, not some dark art that's only for Wall Street wizards.
So, if we're learning to drive our money, what's the engine? What's the force that actually moves us forward and gets us to our destination? Well, it's a concept that's been called the 8th wonder of the world, compound interest.
This quote just says it all. Put simply, compounding is your money making more money. It's the interest you earn which then starts earning its own interest, creating this incredible snowball effect. When it's working for you, it builds massive wealth. But when it works against you, think credit card debt, it just destroys it. The most crucial thing is to make sure you are on the collecting side of this equation.
Let's see just how powerful this engine really is. Let's imagine a 25-year-old invests a starting amount of $10,000. That's it. They just put it in and they don't touch it. They just let it sit and do its thing, growing over their working life.
And what's the result? Well, by the time they turn 65, that initial $10,000 has transformed into over $450,000. Come on, that's not magic. It's just math, and it's powered by time. This shows you the 2 key ingredients. You need a reasonable rate of return, and, most importantly, you need time. Lots of time. The earlier you start this journey, the more time your money has to work for you. Time is the fuel for the compounding engine. Seriously, even small amounts, if you start early enough, can grow into life-changing sums of money. Okay, so we get it. Compounding is powerful. But how do we actually do it? How do we put our money in the driver's seat and get going? Well, you don't need some crazy complex strategy. In fact, one of the most effective strategies out there is beautifully and incredibly simple.
It's called 100 minus your age. It's just a simple rule of thumb to help you balance your risk over your lifetime. The idea is you just subtract your age from 100. And whatever that number is, that's the percentage of your money that should be in higher growth things like stocks. The rest, it goes into more stable, defensive assets like bonds or gold.
So, let's see how this works in real life. When you're 25, you'd be about 75% in those growth assets, which gives you plenty of time to ride out any bumps in the market. But fast forward to age 55, and you've automatically shifted to a much more conservative portfolio, only 45% in growth, which protects the wealth you've already spent decades building. It's like a financial plan that automatically adjusts itself as you get older. Pretty cool, right?
All right, so we have our vehicle, we have our engine, and we have our autopilot strategy all programmed in. But where are we actually going? What's the final destination here? Understanding this is the thing that will keep you motivated for the entire journey. Right now, today, most of us live our lives on the left side of this slide. We trade our precious time and our effort, our labor, for a paycheck. The entire goal of investing is to shift over to the right side, where your money, your capital, starts working for you, generating its very own income.
And this is the destination. This is the whole point. True financial freedom isn't about having some fancy high-paying job. It's about reaching the point where the income from your investments is enough to cover all your living expenses. That is the ultimate goal. That is when you truly, finally, own your time.
So let's just do a quick recap of everything we've learned. First, managing money is a skill, just like driving a car, and anyone can learn it. Second, compounding is the engine of wealth, and time is its rocket fuel. Third, you don't need to be an expert. A simple, automated strategy is more than enough to be incredibly effective. And finally, always remember the destination, a life funded by your assets, not just your effort.
So I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. Right now, at this very moment, is your money just sitting there, parked on the side of the road in some low-interest account? Or have you put it in the driver's seat with a clear destination, ready to finally start the journey? The choice is yours.